This is Ken Farnsworth, who is the artist. Melinda is his wife. She doesn't want to be involved. There she is. Good job. So, I've known Ken a long time. We've been here for a little bit over 10 years. We were in Ellicott City for 10 years before that. Known Ken for about 15 years. And when we moved over here to the store, we had these big walls, and we decided to start painting walls. The first thing Ken did was the welcome sign up front on the bottom. No, on the bottom, you gotta look at sort of facing me. Adam knows where it is. And the second thing he painted was the new Comics This Week sign up above where we keep the new comics. He did Punisher over there with the mailing list. He did the big Hulk behind Plastic Man. And he did the mural on the back wall. So Ken has done plenty of paint jobs for us, and all of them are great. And then he said, I want to paint the ceiling. And I said, you are insane. How are you going to paint the ceiling? Do you know how long that will take? That will take you 5 years to paint the ceiling. So I thought it was crazy, but he wanted to do it, so I said, feel free. Jump right on it and go ahead and do it. Melinda was a huge help, churning the engine, making it go. They did it all in 8 months?
7 months.
7 months they did it in, 1,000 hours worth of work. They were coming in, they were pulling down 10, 12 tiles at a time, taking them home, painting them up. There's multiple coats of paint on there, and Ken could talk more about the process. Then they're bringing them in, and slowly but surely, the roof filled up, and what you see is what you get. It is truly remarkable. I'm glad he's crazy because it is beautiful, no doubt. Now there were some casualties along the way because we had, there's stuff all over the store, and we had stuff on the ceiling. We had Aflac Super Ducks, we had Spinning Superman, Spinning Wolverine. We had a whole bunch of stuff on the ceiling, and we did have an inflatable Spider-Man on the ceiling. And we had an accident when Spider-Man came down off the ceiling. Unfortunately, he died. He had a pencil to the side, and that was the end of the inflatable Spider-Man. But, like all good superheroes, they have to come back, right? So what better time to resurrect our inflatable Spider-Man than at the ceiling party? Wow. So now, he's old. He was in the old store. And unlike comic books where they come back fresh and new, he came back a little bit old and worn still. But he is resurrected. And Ken gets to take him home and put him in his library where it goes.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do. It's all yours now. I have nowhere to put it. I can't cover up the beautiful ceiling with Spider-Man anymore.
That's my thanks.
So that's yours. So
right.
when we get that out of here, you get Spider-Man.
All right. I'll take it.
Now, we also have something else. Because, this is once in a lifetime kind of thing. I don't know how many comic stores you want to go to and try and find something like this. Good luck. I don't think you will. So, we have to have something to commemorate the occasion. So, if Andy could come out, and we have this for you. It's all wrapped up. We didn't unwrap it. Wow. There it is. So you have something in the Ken Farnsworth Library because you can't take the roof with you. So you have to have something there that says, there it is.
That's sweet. Thanks.
Sweet. That's amazing. Oh,
Wow.
Melinda, your name's on it too. Sorry.
Oh,
I had to put it on there. You have to get some credit. So, Ken, I'll give the floor to you. You guys are welcome to ask questions. I don't know what Ken wants to say. And then we're going to cut some cake.
All right, great.
Go ahead.
Well, thanks for coming. Rusty's covered a lot of things that I really wanted to talk about, but we did finish painting all the walls up, and we were just sort of sitting back admiring it, and I just kind of went, well, there's really nothing left to paint, and kind of looked up, and I was like, well, that's insane. But immediately when I did it, I automatically thought of the Sistine Chapel ceiling, because that's what you do when you think of ceilings paintings. So I just started thinking about it, and I was looking at the lights, and I thought, well, it might work. you know, I could put the arches in, and so I had to work around these lights, and I built a framework for it, and that was probably 8 to 10 years ago, and it just sat because it was still insane. But the other problem was I didn't know what to put in these panels. So it kind of just lingered for a while, and then now is a perfect time because Marvel and DC are both celebrating 75 years of history. And so being inundated with that process going on in the comics world, it just sort of came up that let's do the history. And as soon as I did that, it just sort of, boom, started lighting up and things started falling into place. And then I couldn't not do this. Especially when I didn't have to be in the store the entire time. I could take it home and do it in my living room, which we now need to vacuum. But, you know, I came up with another idea for it and design and showed Rusty, and he just was as encouraging as you can be. He goes, do it. I'm like, well, what about the fact that I don't know how long it's going to do it? Like, I don't know if I can just do it. So we started. And I originally told him 3 years is what I was estimating, thinking about a panel a week I'd get done. But then my wife, Melinda, joined the effort, and we started blowing through these panels. And we became a factory. That's what we've been doing for 7 months. So if I have offended anyone by not showing up to any of your parties, this is why. We just got obsessive on it and just started kicking through it. And I would do a lot of work at night, and then put X's and colors and like what needed to be filled in, and then I'd wake up in the morning and give her instructions, go off to work, and come home, and it's done. It was amazing. So a great example of that is that Batman panel right there. We painted it, put it up in the store, and didn't like it. It just still wasn't working. So I took it back home, and I found a new color, and I said, all that blue needs to be changed. And then I came back from work, and it was done. So
much better.
Yeah, it was so much better. And honestly, I had to figure out design, and I had to figure out how to draw the stuff, and that's a great effort and true. But that divot, those divots in there will make you mental. Yeah. That's all her. She did all that work. I mean,
everything had to be primed.
Yeah, we had to prime it. She primed the panels. She filled all the holes in, and that. If she was not helping me, this was not happening. I can tell you that, because we painted the first scene, and I thought, if I'm going to paint this white again, I'm not doing this. I can't do it. But we just banded together, and then we just started moving, and it was a really interesting, a great process to kind of go through, to kind of work from the beginning and see the early artists, and kind of move through their shoes as this went along. So. I'm glad it's done, and then
I hope you all enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. It's awesome. Big hand to Melinda too. Does anybody have any questions? You got it? Yes, Jeff?
Was there anything you had to leave out that you wanted to put in?
No, not really leaving out. There was definitely some things I wanted to draw that the original design had to change as we moved, because there's 3 sizes, there's large and the medium and the small. And stuff that I wanted to put in the small, those divots I was just explaining, don't allow us to get any detail. So I had to start switching things kind of, and then choosing a little bit, some new artwork to better represent. They had to be kind of more close-up shots. I couldn't do a lot of faded or wide shot type things.
Yeah, we have original digital copies of what he was trying to do, and then he just had to change here and there as it went on, just as the process fulfilled, because it's huge. I mean, just had to make some changes.
And there's other things that I would have liked to have painted, but we were focused on comic books. This is a comic book history. It influences the movies and TV shows and all, but we wanted to stick to important comic moments and celebrate the art of sequential art, really. So that's why I was also focused on getting some non-superhero, telling the story of other types of comic books as well. But yes, that's what our focus was.
Anybody else?
Sure.
All right, James?
All right. Hardest art style to mimic and the easiest art style
Oh,
to
there
mimic.
you go.
Well, geez, the easy one's down there. I mean, that
Crisis was
yeah, this all moved quickly. That up to Captain America here from the beginning, it was a month. We did that all in a month. So I thought, that's a quarter of the ceiling. We're going to get this done in 4 months. And then we come over to George Perez here, and this
This one's Crisis with all the little details. I mean, think about all, I mean, that's 50 different colors, and that's just the way that art style is. I mean, that was easily the hardest one for him.
Yeah, that just about broke us. I laid on the floor.
That was harder than Spawn.
Yeah. No, it got, that's where it started. I mean, there's a little bit of, there's more complications, more characters, but that one just about crashed us. And then after that, we had to imp along. For the rest of it, it's like, oh, and I didn't want to stop. I wanted it to be up because everyone's coming in the store, they're seeing it, and I just wanted it to be done so that we didn't have this, where's the next thing, so we had to kind of move through, and they got more and more harder as we went.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Go ahead, what you got, sir?
So you're saying you missed my crab feast last Sunday for this?
I missed a lot of things. That's all I'm asking for.
Alright, just making sure.
Yes.
Fire away.
Which one was your favorite?
Well.
Oh, you know, when you put up The Walking Dead the other day, I turned around to Andy and I said, well, now that one's my favorite.
That's exactly
I love
right.
The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and I mean, I thought that one was awesome.
Yeah, as you move through them, everyone sort of had their own thing that was our favorite, but, I mean, the one that Melinda and I keep going back to is this one over here, The Death of Robin, because it just, not only is it just a nice piece of artwork like the rest of them, it sort of conveys the whole story and pops off the panel. So we would probably go back to that one, I guess. But you know, we love so many of them.
Which one do you hate? Crisis?
I don't actually hate Crisis because it did what I wanted to do. But there are some that I would, you know, of course, I would probably do
A little
change
different.
a little
Sure,
bit,
no, yeah.
But yeah,
Everything-
and overall, I'm
hindsight.
extremely happy with it. So
All right, what else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? No?
I think they want cake.
Okay, well, let's cut a cake up. Let's do it. All